Good morning everyone. I welcome you all in today's online class. I hope you have already gone through the first part of soil resource and in the last class which you can also say that is the first part of soil resource. There we already discussed about what is soil, why is it called as resource, and what is the soil forming process, and also what is humus, what is soil profile, what is soil horizon, etc. We have already discussed in this last class, that is soil resource first part. So today we are going to discuss about the other parts which are related to the soil resource, which is also called as a natural resource. So here in today's class we will discuss about mainly that is soil forming factors, which factors are affecting the soil. That is maybe natural or maybe man-made factors, maybe human factors. This thing we have to discuss. Next we will discuss that is importance of soil. Already we have read why soil is called as a resource, same type of thing, importance of soil. Next that is we have to discuss about that is what is soil erosion, causes of soil erosion. This thing today we have to discuss. So let's start. So students, I have already told today's first topic is what? Soil forming factors. So if you want to know about the soil forming factors, then you should know this formula: S is equal to F, then within first bracket Cl, O, R, P and T. So S is equal to what? Soil. It is the full form. S is equal to soil, F is equal to factors, Cl means climate, O is equal to organism, that means living organisms, flora and fauna, plants and animals including human beings. R means relief means mountains, plateaus, plains, and P means parent rock. That day also I told parent rock means the rock from where a soil is formed, and T is equal to time. So can you count how many factors are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cl climate, O means organisms, R means relief, P means parent rock, T means time. 5 factors are there which affect the formation of soil. So these 5 factors are divided into 2 groups. One that is active factor, in the right hand side I have written, and another that is passive factor. So active factor means their activity is more, their importance that is more than the other one. That's why they are called as active factors. Who are they? Climate and living organisms. So climate and living, that means flora, fauna, plants, animals. This is called as living organisms. And passive factors means they are also doing important work in the formation of soil, but their importance is less than the active factors. That's why I have written passive factors. So who are passive factors? Relief, that means mountains, plateaus, plains, parent rock and time. So now come to the discussion in detail. So first one, that is parent rock. So I have already told parent rock means what? Here in this diagram you can guess that the soil, which soil is here? This man is holding the soil, that is black soil, because its color is black, and this black soil is generated from this black rock. Below this one I have given, that is black rock. This black rock is called as basalt rock. So from this basalt rock this black soil is formed. That's why who is the parent rock of black soil? That is basalt rock. Clear? Like that also in the right hand side another diagram, that one soil is present. It is not written, it is sandy soil. So sandy soil means sand is more, and this sandy soil is formed from the sandstone. So sandstone, sandy soil. So who is the parent rock here? Sandstone is the parent rock of the sandy soil. So I have given 2 examples. So this is the impact. So that means here the quality characteristics and any that is whatever the type of soil you can find out, like here black soil, here sandy soil. Whenever you will see the soil, you can guess what type of rock is this. Here black soil, black color, and here that is basalt rock, black color. Here, so that means parent rock's characteristic is also you can see in the soil. Parent rock basalt, its color is black, that's why the color of the soil that is also black. So that is the impact of parent rock. That means what is called as parent rock? The original rock from which soil is formed by the process of weathering is known as the parent rock. That means here in the example, black soil is formed from which rock? Basalt rock. So basalt rock is the parent rock of which soil? Black soil. So basalt rock is being weathered, then it is being converted into a soil which is black soil. Why is it black? Because the color of the basalt rock is black, that's why the color of the soil is black. So parent rock's color and the soil's color both are same. That is the first factor. Now come to the second factor, topography or relief. So topography or relief means mountains, plateaus and plains. So what type of impact? That mountains, plateaus, plains, these are the passive factor. So what are they doing? They are not helping in the formation of soil. They are helping in the they are controlling mainly thickness of the soil. Thickness means that just guess that you have there are two diagrams present, steep slope and gentle slope. Now you tell me that in which slope the soil erosion will be less by the rainwater, where the soil erosion will be less by the rainwater, that is in the gentle slope. Because in the steep slope the speed of the water is more. Take a look the slope, that's why speed of the water is more, but in gentle slope speed of the water is less. So when the speed of the water is more on the steep slope, that's why the soil will be eroded, and when the soil will be eroded, its thickness will be less because erosion is more. But when you are coming to gentle slope, its that is what the speed of the water is less, that's why erosion is less, and that's why that is the thickness of the soil is more thick soil present. Clear? That is the difference. Again I am telling, there are two slopes. Example I have given, steep slope, that means mountainous region, gentle slope, that means plain areas. So where the speed of the water is more, that is in the mountain region. Steep slope, very slope is very steep, that's why the speed of the water is more. And if the speed of the water is more, that means the rate of erosion of soil is more. So that's why the thickness of the soil is very less, where in the mountainous region. But here in gentle slope the speed of the water is less, and that's why the erosion is also less, that's why the soil is very thick. And that's why if I will ask you where you can do the crop cultivation in a better way, which area is suitable for crop cultivation, that is gentle slope, that means plain area, and steep slope, that means mountainous region, it cannot help you in the crop cultivation because its soil layer is very thin. Okay? So example you can say mountainous region mean in India, that is the Himalayan mountainous region, and for plain area that is the northern plain, where you can do the crop cultivation, that is in the northern plain. Why? Because here the soil thickness is more, soil quality is good, because erosion is less. Why? Due to the gentle slope. But in steep slope area the erosion is more, that's why maximum soil layer is washed away by the water, that's why it cannot help you in the crop cultivation. So it is the effect of topography or relief. So always remember, topography or relief decides the thickness of the soil cover. Thickness of which thing? Thickness of the soil cover. So always remember, steep slope, mountainous region, rate of erosion is more due to the high speed of the water, that's why the soil layer is washed away, soil is being eroded, and that's why it is not good in quality. Which thing is not good in quality? The soil, because already maximum things are washed away. But in gentle slope areas, what happened? The speed of the water is less, rate of erosion is less, that's why maximum things, soil nutrients and also good quality soil remain there, these are not washed away, that's why quality is good, and that's why crop cultivation is better. So this is the second factor. Next, that is third factor, climate. So what is the impact of climate? In climate there are two things mainly important in the formation of soil, temperature and rainfall. So due to the high temperature, soil is being weathered, and also by rainfall soil is being weathered. That means temperature, rainfall breaks the rock into smaller particles. That means weathering occurred. Then gradually these weathered rock particles converted into soil, that already we have discussed. So it is written here, climatic factors like temperature and rainfall affect the soil formation. How? Because they control the weathering process. Temperature, it makes the crack in the rock, then gradually along this crack the rock breaks into smaller particles. Rainfall also breaks the rock into smaller particles, and that's why weathering occurred. Like example you can take, that is in Rajasthan. In Rajasthan means hot desert, temperature is more, that's why that large size rock at first, that is their crack is formed, then along the cracks gradually they started to break into smaller particles. That means weathering. And also where rainfall occurs, there also the rocks are being weathered due to the solution process. That means soluble material present in the rock, this soluble material get dissolved in the water, and then that also weathering occurred. That is also one type of formation. So weather, climate is also important. The two main factors are there under climate, temperature and rainfall. Temperature and rainfall both help in weathering. Temperature breaks the rock, and also rainfall break the rocks into smaller particles. And when the rocks are broken into smaller particles, that means these smaller particles can be converted into soil. So that is the third factor. Fourth number factor, living organisms. I have already told living organisms means flora and fauna. So how plant and animal can help in the formation of soil? That thing, one tree is developing on a rock. So when this tree is developing, gradually the roots of the tree is penetrating through the rock, and when it is penetrating through the rock, at that time the roots make some crack in this rock, and gradually along this crack the rock is being broken into smaller particle. That means weathering occurred. And when weathering occurred, that means what? Gradually these weathered materials or these broken particles will convert into soil. This is first thing. Second thing, that when plants or trees are growing on a rock, they are dead bodies. It may be leaves, it may be branches, it may be the whole tree. The dead bodies of plants being decayed, being decomposed and mixed with the soil and providing humus. That means in this way also it helps in the formation of soil. So that means always remember, where the forest cover is more, there the humus amount is more, because they are the dead bodies of plants and animals more, they are being decomposed and they are being mixed with the soil, and that's why humus amount is more. How human beings can do this, that is soil formation or affect the soil formation? We are doing different type of digging, mining, that type of activities, and that's why the rocks are being broken into smaller particles, and gradually these smaller particles are being converted into soil. Next, that is time. We know very well that time is required for each and every work. In soil formation also time is required. If we want 1 centimeter of soil layer, we have to wait for 100 years. If we want 1 centimeter of soil layer, we have to wait for 100 years. So time is required. So if you want a good quality soil, that means this soil has already taken so much time. That's why it is good in quality. If you want to see all the soil profiles, how many all the soil horizons in a mature soil profile, how many horizons present in a mature soil profile? 4, O, A, B and C. If you want a mature soil profile with all the horizons, that means 4 horizons, you have to give this soil a time, because without that is sufficient time, this soil cannot be matured. That's why I have told there are 2 types of soil present: mature soil and immature soil. So I have told that there are 2 types of soil present: immature and immature. So who has got enough time? Mature soil. That's why it has 4 horizons. It has mature soil profile, and if you are talking about immature soil, it has not got enough time. It requires more time to be formed, so that's why time is also required. So if any soil has got enough time, it has all the horizons, its layer is, its soil cover is very thick. And if you have seen any soil is thin, it does not have all the horizons, that means it has not got enough time. So these are the factors. Now come to the next importance of soil. Already we have discussed, it supports the plant growth, it provides shelter to animals, so many animals are living there. Bricks are made up of soil, and also the fertility of soil helps in crop cultivation, and also that is our houses are made by soil. Next, that is soil erosion. So soil erosion means what? That removal, washed away of which thing? The top layer of the soil. When the top layer of the soil is being washed away or is being removed, by whom? By natural or man-made factor. Natural means like rainwater, like that is glacier, like wind, that is called as natural factor. Here 2 definitions are given. Take a look. The removal of top layer of the soil by natural and man-made causes, and that is called as soil erosion, or the denudation of the soil cover and subsequent washing down is described as soil erosion. So the main thing is what? The top layer of the soil is being washed away, is being removed. By whom? It may be by nature, it may be by human beings. That is called as soil erosion. And always remember, soil erosion is not good for us. Soil erosion, that is destroying the good quality of the soil. It is not good for crop cultivation also. That's why we have to protect the soil from soil erosion. So causes of soil erosion. I have already told, soil erosion is mainly caused by 2 things, natural causes and man-made causes. Natural causes means it by running water, that means river, rainwater, or by wind, or by glacier, or by sea waves. And man-made causes, that when we are doing deforestation, that we know very well, the roots of the plants holding the soil make it compact and protect it from the soil erosion. But when we are doing deforestation, that means what? The total soil cover is that is totally empty. It is not being protected by the tree roots, and that's why that is what soil erosion occurred. Constructional activities, when we are doing constructional activities there, that is what? We are digging the land, that means what? We are helping the, that is soil erosion causes to do the soil erosion. Mining, and by this activity also, when we are digging the land in mining, that time also we are making the soil weak by digging, and that's why soil erosion occurred. And overgrazing means when the animals, that means mainly like cow, buffalo, when they are moving on the soil layer, due to the footsteps, the top layer of the soil is that is becoming loose. When the animals are walking on the land, the top layer of the soil become loose, and when it becomes loose, it can easily be washed away, it can easily be carried from one place to another place, and that means soil erosion occurred. So that means, again I am telling how deforestation causes the soil erosion, because as you know, tree roots holding the soil, and when it is holding the soil, it becomes compact, and when it becomes compact, it is less eroded by the water, by the wind. But when we are cutting down the trees, that means there is no cover of tree, and that's why it is totally, that is bare land. And when it is totally bare land, that means what? The running water can easily erode the soil, the wind can easily erode the soil. That is the problem. Next, construction activities. When we are doing any construction activities, we are digging the land, that means what? We are making the soil, that is loose, we are breaking the soil. And when the soil is being broken, that means what? It becomes weak, it becomes loose, and it can easily be washed away by the water, it can easily be carried by the wind. Mining also the same thing. And overgrazing means Overgrazing means when the animals are walking on the grassland and due to their footsteps the top layer of the soil becomes loose, and then this loose particle can be washed away, can be eroded easily. That's why overgrazing also not good for soil. So students, today we have discussed mainly that is soil forming factors, and we have seen there are 5 factors present. Who are they? Cl, climate. O means living organisms. R means relief, mountains, plateaus, plains, and then P means parent rock, and T means time. All are important, but 2 are more important than the other. That's why I have divided into 2 divisions. Who are they? That is active factors and passive factors. Then we have read about importance of soil. Then we have read about today, that is about the soil erosion. Soil erosion means removal of top layer of the soil by natural or man-made causes, and also we have read about the causes of soil erosion. Next we will discuss that the different types of soil erosion, and also how to protect the soil from erosion, how to conserve it, etc. So if you have any problem, if you cannot understand any topic, then put up the query through the proper channel and I will try to solve your problem. Thank you.